anger is, first of all, anger isn't a emotion. Anger isn't an emotion. Anger is energy. Anger is energy, and it's the kind of energy. Energy comes from somewhere. Energy comes from the source, what causes energy to take place. Just like in this house right here, in this house right here, I have many instruments, many electronic things, and even with the phone, and it's operating, it is running. But there come a time where the battery, see, because there's a battery in it that keeps it going, where we can talk, where you can get on the phone, where you can text, where you can play your games on the phone, where you can teach and get on live feeds or Zooms or whatever. There's a battery, and there's a battery that's once that battery becomes low, it needs to be recharged. And then what you have to do, you have to go to your cable. You have to go through your cable like this right here. You have to go through your cable, and the cable has to be connected to the source, which is in the wall where the power is at. And after you put the cord in the wall, and then in the phone, then the battery will begin to charge up again, begin to charge up again. Now you see that with the energy, with the power, with the source and all of that. The same thing applies to, in the scheme of things, when it comes to anger. Anger, there's a source. There's a source, and a lot of times the source it comes from something, no closure. A situation, an issue that happened, that took place, and now it's fueling you. It's making you upset. It's caused you to do this. It's caused you to react this way. And it's almost like many who will listen to me, it's uncontrollable. And it's the source. See, and what it is, in this case, when it comes to the source is something that's been unresolved, unforgiveness. You might have, somebody might have done something to you, said something to you, disappointed you, made you angry, and you didn't find closure. And because you didn't find closure, anytime someone says something to you, and it couldn't be the issue, it could be a person, or a word, or a certain place, a certain house, whatever it is, once whoever it is brings up that conversation, or brings up that hurt, or that issue, or that conflict, then something within you will go off the handle. Can't handle it. And what it is also is hurt. It's unresolved hurt. And sometimes, oftentimes, unresolved hurt comes from, brings on depression, oppression, trust issues. Because, you know, the thing that what makes a person, can make a person not have trust or have issues with trust, is because when that trust has become broken. And then what happens when something is broken, that person is constantly thinking about that situation, thinking about what happened. It's just like a habit. A habit is formed from, 30 days, doing the same thing, a pattern, doing the same thing, repeating it over and over for 30 days. The same thing happens when it comes to depression, when it comes to anger. Because what happens once something causes and hurts you so bad, and it creates anger, See, because anger isn't an emotion, but it's energy. Once it creates anger, and so now that thing continues to talking. And the person, the more you listen, the more you just meditate on it, the more you think about what happened and think about this and that, as opposed to resolving it, taking it to God, and getting that thing out your spirit. Because if you don't get that thing out your spirit, it's going to always pop up. And see, I know about anger because there was a time where I was depressed and angry for probably about 2 years. It was a long time, especially. It started with when my son was paralyzed, and it was just hard to deal with. You know, a person can say what they would do. You can say anything, but until you get in that situation, you don't know. You don't know how you're going to feel. You don't know how you're going to react, especially when it comes and when it touches your house, when it touches something that belongs to you, and you can't do nothing about it. Of course, that's going to make you angry. Then, you know, because me personally, I'm thinking, what did I do wrong? I'm thinking, God, did my sins or something like that affect my kid? You know, and I went through all of this. But God let me know, no. See, but it took me a while to work through that. And many of you, it's been a while. You've been trying to work through it, but still that anger keep popping up. In the mighty name of Jesus.